Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again from the OREI team with an overview of the HD12-EX165-K HDMI splitter and extender kit. This product was designed to allow you to share all of your HDMI media content with two remote locations up to 165 feet away over a single Cat6 or Cat7 cable. The product fully supports 1080p full HD content, provides local loopback functionality at the primary site so you can enjoy the content here while you're simultaneously broadcasting it to the remote locations. It also includes the very latest in power over cable technology, which means a single power supply is all you'll need to operate the entire system. Now, as part of this overview, I'd like to start with an unboxing of the product just to show you all the components that are included, and then I'll actually take a closer look at the transmitter and receiver modules and explain the connections you'll need to make to use with your own equipment. I'll list the features and functions the product provides, and then finally, I'll come back and actually demonstrate just how simple this product will be to use with your own equipment. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first open up the box, you'll find a transmitter module, two receiver modules, you'll find a single 12-volt 1-amp DC power supply. You'll plug this end into any standard wall outlet. The other end has a barrel connection on it which plugs into the back of the transmitter, and that's all the power you'll need for the entire system. You'll also find an infrared blaster kit for the receivers and another infrared blaster for the transmitter that collect up the remote control signals from those remote locations and send those back over the same LAN cable to the primary location so you can control the content you're watching. You'll also find a bracketing kit for the transmitter module so you can mount this up off the ground and out of the way. A full instruction manual is also included that lists connection diagrams, specifications, and other information you'll need to understand in order to use the product correctly. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at the modules, and then I'll list the features and functions the product provides. The kit includes a single transmitter module and two receiver modules. All three of these feature full metal enclosures which make them incredibly durable and help to minimize outside interference from causing any issues with the sensitive electronics inside. I'll start with the transmitter module. On the front, on the left-hand side, you'll find a power indicator. The minute you add power to the module, it immediately starts an internal power on self-test where it's checking the electronics to make sure everything is working okay. And when it passes that test, it'll light that LED letting you know the module's ready to use. On either end, you'll find ventilation slots that are designed to keep the electronics inside at a very comfortable temperature during operation. You'll also find two mounting holes that can be used with the included bracketing kit to mount this module up off the ground and out of the way. On the rear of the modules where you'll make all your connections, starting on the left are two LAN ports. Those are used to connect the transmitter to each one of the remote locations using a Cat6 or a Cat7 cable. To the right of that is an HDMI output port. This product provides local loopback functionality which allows you to enjoy the content here while you're simultaneously broadcasting it to your two remote locations. And to use this port, you'll simply connect an HDMI cable from here up to a local monitor to enjoy that content. To the right of that is a video input port. That's an HDMI port. You'll use this to connect up whatever media device you'd like to share the content from with your two remote locations. To the right of that is an infrared blaster port. You'll plug one of the infrared blaster transmitters in here, and that'll broadcast the infrared signals from each of those remote locations so you can completely control the content you're watching. To the right of that is a bank of EDID switches, and these are used to adjust frame rate, resolution, and audio styles for the content you'll be distributing to your remote locations. Those are completely explained in the manual. To the right of that is an update port. It's a micro USB port, and that's used for pushing new versions of firmware to the module if needed later on to improve features and functions. To the right of that is a DC input port. That's used with the included power supply. It's a barrel connection. You'll plug the power supply into any standard wall outlet. The other end has a barrel connection, which plugs in right there, and you'll tighten up the collar so it doesn't pop out. To the right of that is a power switch. You can use this to turn the module on and off. The transmitter modules look exactly the same, and they're pretty straightforward. On the one end, you'll find an HDMI output port. You'll connect that up to the monitor you'd like to enjoy the content at that remote location. On the other end, you'll find an infrared blaster port. That's used with the infrared receivers. You'll plug it in here, put it near your media device, and that's the part that'll pick up your remote control signals that are sent back to the transmitter. Finally, you'll find another LAN port on each one of the receivers. This is the other end of the LAN cable from the transmitter. You'll plug it in here, and that's the only connection you'll need back to the transmitter. And over that single LAN cable, power and the media stream will be sent to this remote location for display. The OREI HD12-EX165-K is compatible with most modern HDMI media sources, including DVD players, game consoles, computer systems, streaming devices, and media players like Roku. The product's features include full support of 1080p high-definition media content. It supports extensions with distances up to 165 feet. It provides power over cable technology, as well as local loopback of the content at the primary site. And finally, an infrared blaster kit is also included for remote control of your content. Now I'll show you the connections you'll need to make to use the OREI HD12-EX165-K HDMI splitter and extender kit with your own equipment. And for this demonstration, over here I've set up a small media player that's currently looping a video. And that's the media content I'd like to share with my two remote locations. Over here I've set up two monitors that represent those remote locations, and these can be up to 165 feet away. In front of me I have the transmitter module and two remote receiver modules. Now the first set of connections I'll make are to the transmitter module, and I'll start by connecting my media input to the transmitter. I've got an HDMI cable already connected up to the media player, and that'll plug into the HDMI input port on the back of the transmitter. Now I'm ready to add power. I've already plugged the power supply in. The other end of that cable has a barrel connection on it, which plugs into the power port, and then tighten the collar so it doesn't pop out. Now the minute I add power to the unit, it immediately starts a power on self-test where it's checking all the electronics internally. It's also checking the resolution of my media source to make whatever adjustments are needed to send the best possible image downstream to your two remote locations. It's also looking for those remote locations, and it's activated both of the LAN ports. And now we can connect up our remote receivers, and I'll start by connecting the monitors up to the HDMI output on both of these receivers. And one interesting thing about this particular product is it uses the very latest in power over cable technology, which means you won't need a power supply at those remote locations. All the power required to operate those modules is sent over the same Cat6 or Cat7 cable that connects the transmitter to the remote receiver. So right now these are powered down. I have two short Cat6 cables right here, and I'll connect those up to LAN port 1 and LAN port number 2. And the minute I connect these up to the remote receivers, they'll immediately come to life and start a power on self-test where they're checking their internal electronics and they're making sure everything's working okay. They're also checking the resolution of the media being sent. They're making whatever adjustments are needed to give you the best possible picture on the displays. And it really is just that simple to get it working. Now, one other advantage this product provides is a local loopback functionality that allows you to enjoy the content here at the primary site while you're simultaneously broadcasting it to the remote site. And to use that, you'll need a monitor at the primary site with a short HDMI cable to the HDMI output port in the transmitter. But that's pretty much it for the connections, and it really is just that easy to get it working. I hope you found this overview of the OREI HD12-EX165-K HDMI splitter and extender kit helpful. The product provides an incredibly easy way for you to share any HDMI media content with two remote locations simultaneously, up to 165 feet away in full 1080p HD resolution over a single Cat6 or Cat7 cable. The product also features local loopback functionality that allows you to enjoy the content here at the primary location while you're simultaneously broadcasting it to your remote locations. It also includes infrared blaster kits that allow you to control the content from those two remote locations. And finally, it employs the very latest in power over cable technology, which means a single power supply is all you'll need for the entire solution. Everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and with a few simple connections, you can be up and running in no time. So until next time, thanks for watching.